Hello and welcome to another episode of Baggers Chat. On today's episode, we'll be previewing the Mighty Tigers clash this Thursday, boys. How are we feeling?
Oh, it's a bit nervous, actually. It's a high stakes. I think it's as they call it, kind of an 8-point game. You know, if we beat them, they go down, we go up. So, it's a big clash, important clash for both teams, actually.
Absolutely, Pato.
Yeah, confident. A lot more confident than I was in round one. That's for sure. Just because since with what we've kind of produced this season, I think it's going to be an interesting clash. But also I'm very excited about it. But it is at the Richmond. It is Richmond home game, so that's what I'm a little bit nervous about. But still at the G, Blues faithful will still show up.
Sorry. Whose home game was it last week against? Was it Port Adelaide, where 5 freaking people showed up to their game? Like,
yeah.
Seriously, what was that?
Wait, really? Oh, yeah. But then that was on a Thursday. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Come on, Richmond.
But the way I feel about it,
nice.
I'm not trying to have a go at Tiger supporters because they've been pretty good over the years, like as in attendance and that. But you know, come on, they're saying families don't want to go on a Thursday night. If you're a real fan, you're making your way there.
Yeah,
you're making your way there.
There's a bloke that lives 3 minutes from the ground.
It's like 3 or 2 years ago when Harvick said, when we play at Marvel, the Richmond fans are like, oh, come on, man. We play at Marvel in MCG the exact same amount of time. And we show up, it doesn't matter.
I find it easier to get to Marvel.
Yeah.
If you catch the train, I don't personally, but I know people that do catch the train, it's right there, so I've heard. Otherwise, $10 parking, you can't beat it. All right, we're just talking before we came on as well about where we could literally be on the ladder. It's a lot of shoulda, woulda, coulda, but if we had beaten Collingwood, like forget Gold Coast, forget Fremantle, whatever, if we had just beaten Collingwood, say Jack Silvani's got just a little bit more to the left, say it went through, we would be equal top at the moment, and the top 3 had the bye. We win this week, we're a game clear on the top. Imagine how that would have been.
And if Walshy kept on running and had a ping, mate.
Or if the umpires opened their eyes.
Well, I find a positive out of the loss, actually. I think it kept the group kind of, grounded a bit. Not we weren't cocky, but it was just something, learning curve. And I think, with the new coach and that, you've got to have learning curves. And I think it keeps us in good stead.
Absolutely. I think it's good, especially like we spoke about it last week about the 3/4 time there against the Bombers, or last episode, how whilst he's giving them a spray, it's good to see because it's good to get, I guess, the cobwebs out of the way and, learn early-ish on. We're halfway through the season now, but we're still learning and we're potential top 4, so you can't really complain. Would you argue, though, you said I think you were more nervous, Pato, you said about round 1. Would you argue Richmond's certainly got better since round 1 and we've got better. We're playing very well, but with injuries though, I would say I'm more nervous for this one personally because I think Richmond are playing better footy now than what they were round 1, and we've got a few injuries, so I'm a bit more nervous there. So it'd be interesting to see. But you said you were more nervous with round 1.
Yeah, I just feel like they've just lost their hunger a little bit, just a little. So I just think that yes, they're a little bit more like they don't have as many injuries as us, but also we kind of found a way the past 3 or 4 weeks to just find other ways, other solutions to get the job done. So that's what I've been seeing, and that's why I'm still confident. But even if we lose to Richmond, once again, yes, we don't I hate blaming it on injuries, but I think Harry Mackay returning, Charlie Curnow, that's massive, and Lewis Young has stepped up enormously, and we're still waiting on our best defender, our best ruckman, so many other aspects that we can kind of add to this system. So it's really good to see, but I am still nervous. But it's going to be interesting to see what happens on Thursday night.
Absolutely, it is of course this Thursday at 7:20. So it's a bit earlier. Was Essendon 7:50?
Yeah, 50.
Or was it, one of them ones. I know. The Thursday. Yeah, so that's a bit. That's a bit better, a bit earlier. Obviously at the MCG, and of course last time we met was round 1. We won by a few goals in the end, and I went back through that game. It's crazy the amount of actual individual goal kickers we had. Charlie didn't kick a goal. We said
Yeah.
Harry kicked 1, maybe 2. I think we said Pato,
1-1.
but
Yeah.
there was just so many individual goal scorers. Like I had it up here before, but O'Brien was kicking goals. Everyone's kicking goals, so that was good to see. But we'll get stuck into our favourite Tigers versus Blues memory. Of course, we probably would have mentioned this in round 1. Round 1 could be the favourite memory now, though. So who knows? We'll start with you, Heath.
Yeah, there's a few. Round 1 was pretty hard to go by. I think it's one of the best victories of the last decade, just in terms of we all came together as one, and new coach, new CEO, new everything. But apart from that, you'd have to say the final. I'd probably say Juddy's goal.
Comes again. Wait. Look away. A hand pass to Judd. This would be fitting.
It lives in my memory all the time, even though post that we've seen fuck all, but it was a good goal.
It was a good goal. Before we go to Pato, because I got a feeling I know what he's going to say, but have we gone a whole year of this podcast without promoting one of the best TikToks ever? Have we, Pato?
No, what are you talking about, mate?
I believe it might be you, the 2013, was it elimination final or something like that? Would that be your favourite memory at least?
Unless I have a twin and the exact same name. I don't know, mate. I don't know what you're talking about.
Is that your favourite memory though?
Oh, it has to be, doesn't it? Big Jeffy Garlett sending the Richmond Tigers home, na style. And then, of course, the commentary.
Gets in and taking him was Garlett. And you can put down the glasses. It's an amigo. It's an amigo that'll finish it off. Kick it, Jeffrey. He does. Carlton are on their way to Sydney.
With Bruce, I think it was Bruce McAvaney, who said it, and they're on their way to Sydney, like, mate, just goosebumps. And unfortunately, that's our only good moment.
Our only good moment, okay, in our history.
Well, no. Our only good moment, my only good moment in my life.
Okay. If Pato doesn't cut this out, there is a good TikTok out there of Pato in that game. So make sure you get around that. And all right, we'll get stuck into our potential inclusions now, boys. Who do you see coming in for this game against the Tigers, and who do you see making waves?
I've got one change. Obviously, Chera having I think Vossi said it was exactly the same as Cripper's one against Gold Coast, like yours truly said during the game. But I'm sorry to rate myself there, but dock it back. No, but I think Chera will be out just due to the short turnaround, and then I think Will Setterfield. I'm not really sure if Dow gets a game. I'm not sure, but I think Setterfield had 35 on the weekend, was clearly our best, so I think he comes in.
For Chera, okay, yeah, interesting, good call. Pato?
Yeah, me personally, obviously with Adam Chera out, I've brought in Paddy Dow, so I just think that I've always liked having one player go out and not the exact same player, but a certain type of player coming in to actually fill in that spot. So I think Dow is that player. Setterfield, I've always seen more as a winger. I don't know the exact position that he's been playing in the VFL, but I've always seen him more as a winger. So, I think Noons has been playing pretty well, probably arguably his best game on the weekend. And I think Lockie O'Brien's still doing his role. Yes, he does fuck up a bit, but I just still think he does stuff, which is still good. So I brought in Paddy Dow.
Excuse me. So just the one change there as well. Beautiful. Alrighty. So I've got obviously Chera out as well. I've gone a bit left field, as I usually do. I like to be a bit different. So I've gone Hayes to make his AFL debut.
Hazy. Love it.
He's he has played AFL before.
Sorry, make his Carlton debut. Sorry, I should say.
Western Bulldogs, wasn't he?
Yeah, Doggies.
Yeah, Doggies. That's right.
Us, I believe.
Yeah. Yep.
Might have been, yeah. But yeah, we'd like to see him get a game, and we'll see what happens there. We'll get stuck into arguably our favourite part of the show.
Has to be.
Ethan, spotlight on you, mate, for the key matchups.
Yeah, so I was trying to think outside the box today, and it's very confusing on how specifically our smaller defenders who's actually going to pick up who each week. We tend to get it wrong. I think Collingwood game we thought Stocker was going to Ginnivan, and then it ended up being Sard, which was fantastic for us.
Everyone thought that too, though.
So it's so confusing having those guys in. So I've left the small defenders out. It's too hard to decide. So we'll start off Robbie Tarrant against Harry Mackay. So It's an interesting matchup. I think round one, Tarrant did okay on Harry, well, considering they didn't kick many goals. So what are your thoughts on this matchup, Pato?
Yeah, I think if it's the same sort of contest with the smalls kind of more dominating more than the talls, I think Harry will probably know what to do now because he probably hasn't played on Tarrant much in his career. And yes, he still finished with 1 goal, 1. So I still think he did okay. But I think Tarrant, he's a pretty good defender. So it's going to be an interesting one to see actually who he goes to because they also might see Charlie Curnow being the number 1 forward now. I don't know, but I think Mackay and Tarrant's going to be a great battle.
Yep, Carlton.
So so then Grimes would take, I assume.
I'd believe it'd be a Gibcus taking Curnow, which I think will be in our favour. Just being a younger, less experienced player. But what are your thoughts on the whole on Robbie Tarrant and Harry Mackay, Carlton?
I mean, as you said, he kicked a goal round 1. I don't mind Tarrant as a player, been around a while, but I think Harry can get the job done there. Yeah,
I think it's an important one too. I think Mackay really broke. Well, I guess the game didn't really break open the other night. It was a bit of a lackluster game just due to Essendon not really bringing it to us. But I think Harry can really open up the game for us just due to his aerobic capacity and being able to, kick goals at vital times. So we'll move on to ruck battle again. So it's a bit different to last time. Big Pit, I think, dominated Nank in round 1 just due to the hit out to advantage, and which was huge for us in that victory. Now without Pitto, we've got Tommy DeConning, who's really held his own, I think, in the last month and a bit. How do you think this matchup will go, Pato?
Yeah, a little bit nervous about this one because I think Nane Curvisach's been pretty good this year. So a little bit nervous, but I think TDK has been solid. He's been solid. He's had some really good weeks. He's had some not so great weeks. So I think, once again, he'll probably bring out his sort of a performance that will do his role good, but also Nane Curvis is a pretty good ruckman.
Yeah, it is tough because I think Nank's good around the ground as well. He's a big body, but he's also got good foot skills, and it'll be interesting. But I think Tommy can do it. I think he can do it. Carlton, what are your thoughts on Tommy?
Yeah, it's interesting. I'm a big fan of Nank personally. When he shrugged BT, it's probably one of the best moments. But yeah, I think we sort of speak about old style ruckman, and then I guess the more new sort of around the ground sort of Tommy DeConey. I think Nank's a bit of almost a mixture because he said he's a big body, but he can sort of go around. He can sort of like cruiser in a sense in terms of pick the ball up, whack it on the boot. Like he can, for a big bloke, he can actually do that sort of stuff. I think Tommy's probably got him covered. Probably, I mean, they're all fit, obviously, but I can Tommy get him covered there, but I don't know, it'd be close. I think he can hold his own, but it's a lot of pressure, I think, on Tommy personally. But
yeah, and for me, I think the huge thing is how Sauce goes when he comes in. Yeah. I think he really showed on the weekend he can be that kind of fourth midfielder, because I think Sauce definitely has the capacity to be able to be a midfielder. But obviously our mids are very good right now. Obviously it's hard to get in that midfield group, and his role's changing every week by the second. And so we'll move on. I've got Georgie in the key matchups. I feel he hasn't been in the key matchups enough. He's averaging 30. Apparently, Adam Cooney said he's not in his top 5 most improved players. I'm not sure what sport he's been watching for the first half of the season. But Hewitt against Prestia, 2 Bulls. I believe Prestia's leading Richmond's clearances. I think it might be Jack Graham, and between him and Jack Graham, just the top clearance getters, and obviously Hewitt being up there with us. What do you think of this matchup, Pato?
Yeah, I think Prestia is it's a one that I'm not too sure how to judge, just because that is probably never really lived up to his potential. Because I think at Gold Coast he was actually probably going to be a star sort of player, but at Richmond, of course, he's been good, but unfortunately he's just been kind of let down a bit with his with injuries. So once again, I think he's pretty good. He's actually a pretty good player, so we have to watch out for him. But I think George Hewitt's up to it. 100% he is. Every single week we bring up how good this guy is. And for Adam Cooney, because I think he said one thing about Carlton. I think he said maybe his that he thought that Carlton was like the premiership. He thought that Carlton was going to win the premiership. And I'm like, good call, mate. Good call. But I think Hewitt is definitely up to it.
Yeah, 100%. Carlton, any thoughts on that matchup?
Yeah, it's definitely interesting at these two, I guess, sort of going at it in a sense. But Hewitt's, I don't know, yeah, he's been one of the most improved for mine. I mean, didn't really watch too much of him before, obviously, but yeah, he's been great, and it'll be interesting to see. But I do rate Dion, so but yeah.
Yeah, no, I rate Prestia pretty highly. I think he's probably their best midfielder currently. I'm not like their midfield group's very different. It's a very dynamic kind of midfield group. They got multiple guys coming through with Bolton and that. So we'll move on. Unfortunately, Tom Lynch is probably going to be playing. I think he trained today. I think he looked, pretty healthy and ready to go. So I imagine if he's in, Lewis Young will take him. Well, what are your thoughts on that, Pato?
Yeah, it's a big one because I'm not too sure if Lynch will come in, but if he does come in, I think he's a terrific player. So it's a big test for Young, but I think each week his test gets a little bit bigger, and I think he's up to it 100%. So this is one of the other guys that has a chance to really shine.
Yep, agree, mate. Carlton, how many goals is Lynch kicking on the weekend?
2 at best. Maybe Young goes off the ground, but yeah, two at best, I would have thought.
Yeah, no, I think Tom Lynch is an interesting one. He can kick bags and then be really quiet. So hopefully, fingers crossed that he is quiet.
Well said, mate. Some great analysis there. I saw your brain ticking away about 5 minutes before we jumped on to film. So you put a lot of thought into it as usual, which is good to see.
Yep.
All right, we'll get stuck into Under the Pump now, and we'll go straight to Pato.
Yeah, mate. So I have, and I'm not too sure about this one. It's someone that I really do rate at the club. And I only put him down just because I feel like he needs that reality check of you're doing the pressure stuff, but you're just not hitting the scoreboard. And that man is Corey Durden. I think it was 2 weeks ago when he kicked 2 goals, 1, and he really was good. And then I think Owies was the one that didn't really play that well. It was like, we never really have both of them playing really well in the same game, which I think is actually personally fine. So I think that they will always kind of, like, if they are both quiet, that's when we probably have to worry about it. But I don't know. I kind of want your thoughts on this, boys, because Corey Durden, is he under the pump? What are your thoughts, Daff?
Oh, yeah, I think scoreboard-wise. But on what you said about them playing well, I think back to what I said earlier, the positions they play, I don't think they're going to be making a huge impact every week. Like the way they play good is different to how Charlie Curnow plays good. I think a good Charlie Curnow game is 2+ goals, or taking 8 marks a game or whatever. I agree though. I think there hasn't really been a game where they've both hit the scoreboard really well, but I think Durden, he was good round 1. So can the Tigers get him?
Yeah, agree with that, Sam.
Yeah, mate, I agree. There's a type of players where their stats or their impact on the game isn't measured through your basics sort of stuff. You got to look more in depth, I guess, in the sense of the amount of, I guess, 1%ers to an extent, and then obviously the pressure they're putting forward, especially Durden. And but yeah, I do agree. It is interesting. They don't sort of seem to both play well in the same game, but it's interesting observation from you, Mitchell.
Cheers, mate. Moving on.
No, good. That was good, mate. Alrighty, I've got no one because I said like to sit on the fence a little bit, but we'll go to you, Heath.
I just think, filming this on Monday, Queen's birthday, the D's going down really opened up the ladder. So if we win this game, we are equal top. Just put it out there. No pressure, boys, but this is huge for our football club. And I think if we win this game this week, we got to be aiming top 4. I just think if we're 10-3, it's a fantastic position to be in. And then also, just putting Richmond, keeping them ninth. So our 8 position is strong. So we don't have to worry about that too much. So there's always pressure on every week just to have the standards that we've been seeing all year. So I trust them. I back them in.
Well said, mate. We'll have to work out the percentage of what they have to win by to actually sort of crack the top sort of 2, 3, 4-ish sort of area. But
I think I've heard it's like 350 points or something.
Yeah,
So
it's not too bad. It's doable.
It's
doable.
And of course, just in case, Thursday night, against the arch rival, the Tigers, at the MCG doesn't pump you up enough and want you to go to the game enough. It is the fearless leader who's playing his 50th game. Patrick Cripps, of course, Marchbank playing his 50th as well, which is symbolic for other reasons. But 150 for Cripper, like that actually makes me feel a little bit old. Like that's sort of come along pretty quickly.
No, it has definitely. Geez, he's I don't know. I can't. He's the best. I reckon he's the best captain I've had. The best Carlton captain in my lifetime. Just the way he's so selfless and especially the last few years where his body's been really letting him down. Still going out there and playing, and off the field he's fantastic. I think he sent that message, a video message to a kid before the game on the weekend who I'm not sure what the issue was, had some sort of disease or cancer, and sent him a message and brought him on the ground the other day. And he's just a really good guy. And can't explain enough. He's a superstar.
Yep, great bloke, great player, and great captain. I think he's going to be at the Hallam Hotel or something with Walshy or something this week. I don't know if you've heard about that, but it seems relatively cheap. Might have to get along.
Might do, mate.
Might do. Well said, Ethan. Best captain you've seen, you said. Let's just throw a few names out there that you've seen. So we've obviously seen Murphy.
Juddy.
Who
Who else have we seen?
Same Doc, if that counts.
Yeah, Doc, yeah. Who else have we seen? Murph, Juddy.
Who else did we see before?
Juddy was really my first. I was pretty young before then, so yeah. I think Cripper first.
Absolutely, mate. Well said. Paolo, what does Cripper mean to you, mate? And how much of a pleasure has it been watching 149, soon to be 150, of him working his trade?
Yeah, the Duff Star hit the nail on the head there. I just think that Cripper's been. I mean, there's not too many words to describe Cripper, but I just think that he's just been, as Duff said, I probably would disagree with him being the greatest captain that I've seen. I think Judd probably holds that role, but once again, he's not far behind just because of the other things that he does. Like, I think that especially with the whole media world really evolving when he's been the captain, he's really dealt with that well. I think that like especially with how he's kind of dealt with stuff that's been off field with Carlton supporters. Like, yes, as you said, Daff, like he probably puts the fans first, which is so good because we haven't really had a player or a captain even like that. Of course, we've had people go to like call up and stuff with the membership, but I think that his sort of way of leading the side this year, especially with him being the sole captain, you can see how much of a difference it's made. So yeah, I think there's not too many words to actually describe him as a leader, as a player. So I think it's really good. But also Marchie, it's great to see that he's made his return. So hopefully he can play another 50 and many more to come.
Absolutely, mate. Yeah, they're both great stories in of themselves. In, I guess, different ways. Cripper's been, I guess, fairly lucky, touch wood, injury-wise, and obviously Marchbank's road's been a little bit different. And but yeah, we both look forward to seeing them this Thursday night. All right, now we'll get stuck into our match predictions. I'll run through speeches really quickly. Of course, he's away for the next couple of weeks. He got first goal, Jack Martin. So it's a blue bag kicking the first goal. Best on ground, Hewitt. It's a blue bag of best on ground. This is looking good. Margin, Tigers by 14. What's going on there?
Yeah,
I love.
Does it?
It'd be like Melbourne today, though. I guess Fritsch first goal, Clary best on ground, obviously, and then they lost. So it can happen, does happen. But
no speech don't.
But hopefully he's wrong for the margin. We can cop the other two, but hopefully the margin and the team winning is wrong. But we'll go to you now, Heath. What do you got for us, mate?
Yeah, I've gone a bit outside the box for the first goal, and I think this guy has been setting up goals left, right, and centre the last 2-3 weeks, and that is the Nuna, the Jack Nunes, mate. He's going to kick the first goal on the run, 45.
Yeah,
Carlton fans up and about, and so I think Nunesy's been good. Give him the first goal. He loves it. He loves a goal, Newsy. He loves it. He loves a goal. So best on ground, Sammy Walsh. Didn't play against the Tigers last time, and our mid still dominated. So Walsh gets in there, gets 40 points, gets the 4 points, and leaves the G. And then tip Carlton by 9. I could have tipped him by more, but I'm keeping it low key, and I'm going with 9.
And prediction for Richmond in the sense that who do you see being their deadliest player, the one we just need to stop, whether it's a forward, mid, even a backman carving up one of our forwards? Sort of who do you see?
Maybe Baker, or I think Bolton kicked 0 goals 5, so he's probably due to kick a couple.
Yeah, I'd agree. I'd say Bolton, something like that. All right, Pato, we'll go to you now, mate, for your prediction. And I'm going to chuck a question straight at you first. For the bloke you go for first goal, is he playing forward, or does he literally just grab it from the ruck tap and just kick it from outside 50 and take us away, Pato?
Yeah, so I'm calling a little bit of a scruffle at the very start of the game. Absolute just getting into each other. And then out of nowhere, Paddy Cripps gets an elbow by Dusty Martin if he plays. If not, Liam Baker, bang, bang. Scruffle, mate. The big scruffle. So that's just a pattern word that I keep on saying. But I think that he will get one in the goal square, just get the blue baggers up. No, I think Paddy Cripps will probably get tapped down from Teddy K over to Hewitt, and handball to Cripper to maybe give it back to Cripper, then have a goal.
End of story. Kicking the first goal.
I've talked him out of it, I think.
The way you're explaining it, there's 58 handballs before he kicks the goal.
I guarantee he will
go before he gets there.
He will be taking the kick out from the Richmond thing, and then he will get a 150-metre penalty, and then he'll get the goal to get the Blues started. But also best on ground, of course, is Paddy Cripps as well. I think that will be a great way to set up his 150th game. And also the Blue Baggers, I've gone the reverse of speech. Instead of Tigers by 14, I've gone the Blues by 14 points.
Very nice, mate. I think Cripper had, 33 goals round 1, something like that? So
yeah, something like that. Yeah.
We could do that again, I reckon. And alrighty, I've got first goal, bit of an interesting one. It is a Richmond player. I don't know if that's allowed, but Noah Bolter, first goal I've got. And then I've got Sam Doherty, best on ground. Sorry, Ethan, to upset you. And then Blues by 4 in a close one. You don't reckon he can get the first goal, Ethan?
Not a fan of Noah Bolter. I think he's a bit of a front runner for mine, but good on him.
Yeah, I don't think he's the best in the team. Best in the forward line by a stretch. Jack Riott's been there a while now. Do you reckon he could sort of tear us apart, or do you reckon he's sort of past it? What do you reckon, Heath?
Oh, I can't jinx us, but I'll leave that for off air. I think he's probably in his last year, I reckon, maybe second last year. He's always torn us up round 1. So I'm just gonna leave that at that.
Who are you most worried about, Pato?
Tom Lynch, if he plays, I think that he could have some sort of a performance if he gets going. So other than Jack Rewalt, and you can't really shy away from if he does play Dustin Martin, he's a big threat.
Absolutely, record speaks for itself, and that's about it, boys. Of course, Thursday night get to the footy, and then Friday night you boys will be there. Get to the VFL as well versus Footscray, 7:35 Friday. Not in Footscray, thankfully for our safety, at Icon Park.
Hey, there goes our supporters from Footscray.
Yeah, I don't think they have the internet there, Pato. So down. I get down there Friday night. It'd be I'd say it'd be a good game. We should win. I mean, we should have bet Essendon. That was pretty average. And just on that, you watched it, I assume, Ethan and Pato. I don't know if you watched it. Did you watch the twos, mate?
Yeah, saw a little bit of highlights, but I didn't watch the full game, unfortunately.
Sammy Durden, what do you reckon, Heath?
I don't know. I think, like Vossi said, he's just got to get used to the whole system. But I think you've turned out. He's still got 7 marks, so pretty decent. But I think their forwards went all right. So it's an interesting one. But I think I don't know. I need to see the full picture first.
All right. Sorry, mate. Sorry I put you on the spot there. Alrighty. So get down to the seniors, get down to the reserves, get down to everything. Thanks for watching as always. Like, follow, subscribe, share, tell your grandmother, tell everyone. Baggers Chat's where it's at. And Pato,
And as always, boys, up the baggers.